I never believed in ghosts, not until that night. It was winter, January 17, 2025. The kind of night where the cold seeps into your bones, making you feel hollow from the inside out. I was the night shift driver on Route 66, a forgotten stretch of highway that connected the outskirts of Nevada to Arizona. Most nights, the bus ran empty, just the sound of the engine humming through endless miles of desert. But that night, something different happened. Something I still can't explain. I remember glancing at the rearview mirror at exactly 2:33 a.m., the cursed hour, they call it. There was only one passenger on board, an old woman wrapped in a black shawl sitting at the very back. I hadn't noticed her when she got on. No footsteps, no sound, just there. I should have asked for her ticket. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe because something about her made the air feel thicker, heavier. I tried not to stare, but every time my eyes flicked to the mirror, she was already looking at me. Her face was hidden beneath the shadow of her hood, pale lips barely moving as if whispering to someone who wasn't there. I forced my eyes back on the road. Mile 157, the middle of nowhere. No towns, no lights, just black desert stretching into infinity. That's when I heard it. A laugh. Soft, childlike. Coming from the back seat, I slammed on the brakes, heart hammering in my chest. When I looked back, the woman was still there, motionless. But the laugh, it echoed through the bus like it was coming from every seat at once. My throat dried up. I could taste the copper tang of fear on my tongue. No one else was supposed to be there. No one. I swallowed hard and gripped the steering wheel, trying to steady my breathing. I convinced myself I was hearing things, the desert playing tricks on me. But then, the seats started creaking, one by one, like someone was walking down the aisle. I didn't dare look back. My eyes stayed locked on the mirror, watching the shadows stretch across the floor. The woman never moved. Her head stayed down, lips still murmuring in that low, breathless voice. I kept driving. Mile 160, mile 161. Every instinct in my body told me to stop the bus, to throw the woman out, but my hands stayed frozen on the wheel. I don't know if it was fear or something else. Then she finally spoke. "You missed a stop." Her voice was brittle, like dead leaves crunching underfoot. I glanced back. Her face was still hidden, but in the mirror, I swear to God, I saw something sitting next to her. A little girl. No eyes, just black pits where they should have been. I blinked, and she was gone. The woman raised her head slowly, and for the first time, I saw her face. Half of it was missing, skin peeled away like something had clawed it off long ago. Her mouth curled into a smile, and I realized she had been staring at me the whole ride with only one eye. I felt something cold brush against the back of my neck. My blood turned to ice. "They never leave," she whispered. "Not on this road." I slammed the brakes again, tires screeching against cracked asphalt. My hands were shaking as I turned around, but the back seats were empty. The woman, the girl, they were both gone. Only a faint smell lingered in the air, something rotten, something wet. I should have driven away. I should have left them behind on that cursed stretch of highway. But the headlights caught something in the darkness. Something small lying in the middle of the road. A child's doll. I don't remember picking it up, but when I looked down, it was already in my hand. Its eyes were missing. I never finished that shift. I pulled into the next station and quit on the spot. But here's the thing, they never found the woman. No reports, no missing person alerts, nothing. But every night since then, I still see her. In my dreams, in the mirror, in the shadows that gather beneath the flickering streetlights outside my window. And every night, at exactly 2:33 a.m., I hear the same childlike laugh echoing through the walls. I don't drive anymore. I don't leave my house. But last night, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, the doll was lying on my doorstep. This time, it had no face at all. The police think I'm losing my mind. Maybe I am. But if you're reading this, if you're ever on Route 66, don't take the night bus. Because there's always one last passenger. And they never ride alone. They say time heals everything, but whoever said that never carried something from the other side. It's been 7 days since that night. 7 nights without sleep. I tried to convince myself it was just the desert messing with my head, exhaustion playing tricks on my mind. But how do you explain something when the proof is staring back at you every night from your own doorstep? The doll is still here. I've thrown it away 3 times, buried it under the old willow tree behind my trailer, burned it in the metal drum out back. But every night, it comes back. Always at 2:33 a.m., always facing the door. Last night, I swear I saw its little stitched mouth curl into a smile. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think I am. But there's something following me, something stitched between the cracks of this world and whatever lies beneath. I don't think it ever left the bus. I think it came with me. I haven't left the house in days. Curtains drawn, doors locked. Every creak in the floorboards feels like footsteps creeping closer. The only time I see the outside world is through the crack in the blinds, watching the empty desert stretch out into nowhere. But tonight, something is different. I feel it before I hear it. A cold breath crawling down the back of my neck. At first, I thought it was the wind. But wind doesn't whisper your name. Frank? My blood curdled in my veins. No one knows my name here. No one. I've lived alone since my wife passed 5 years ago. The kind of loneliness that gnaws at your insides until you start hearing voices in the static of the TV. But this voice, it wasn't in my head. It was inside the house. I turned slowly toward the hallway, heart hammering so hard I swear I could taste metal in the back of my throat. The shadows stretched long against the peeling wallpaper. Remember, and that's when I saw it. The doll, sitting upright at the end of the hall, facing me. But this time, it had a new set of eyes stitched into its face. 2 black buttons, small, like a child's. I froze, mouth too dry to even scream. I don't know how long I stood there. Seconds? Minutes? All I know is that at some point, the doll blinked. That's when I heard the laugh. That same soft, childlike giggle I'd heard on the bus. She's here. I locked myself in the bedroom that night. Barricaded the door with whatever I could find. The old dresser, the mattress, the chair from the corner. But the thing is, you can't lock out something that's already inside. I cried myself to sleep. I haven't cried in years, not since they lowered Lily's coffin into the ground. My little girl, gone at 9 years old. Pneumonia, they said. But I never told anyone the truth. I'd heard the whispers back then too. In her room, in the walls. They always came at night. The memoir, I should have saved her. I should have known. God forgive me. I think whatever followed me off that bus has been with me for a long, long time. Maybe it was just waiting for me to finally see it. Tonight is the 7th night. I don't know if I'll survive the 8th. The doll is gone now, but the laughter hasn't stopped. It echoes through the house, soft at first like breath against glass, then louder, closer. The clock on the wall stopped at 2:33 a.m. hours ago. It hasn't ticked since. A few minutes ago, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Small, bare feet against cold wood. I called out her name. Lily? No answer. Just the sound of little fingers brushing against the door. I don't want to open it. God help me. I think she's on the other side. They never found the woman. They never found the girl. They never found the other passengers from that night either. I checked. Every report I could dig up, every missing persons case along Route 66 from the last 20 years. They all vanished between mile 157 and mile 161. The same stretch of road, the same time, 2:33 a.m. No bodies, no blood, just whispers in the desert. And the worst part, someone keeps calling my phone. The number is always the same. +1 666 157 233. No one ever speaks on the other end, just breathing, and the sound of a child laughing softly, like she's hiding just out of sight. I don't know how much longer I can stay here. I don't know if I'm still alive, or if I died on that bus and this is the place in between. But I know one thing. Tonight, the door's gonna open. And whatever comes through, I'm not sure it's my daughter anymore. They buried Lily on a Wednesday. The sky was gray, the kind of dull, suffocating gray that felt heavier than the coffin they lowered into the frozen earth. The preacher mumbled something about how God calls his angels home early. But no God would ever take a child like that. Not in the way she went. Not with those bruises around her neck. They never asked questions. No one did. Pneumonia, they said. That's what the death certificate read. But I know what I saw that night in her room. The small, pale handprints pressed against the glass. the closet door swinging open on its own, the sound of Lily gasping for air long after she'd stopped breathing. I told myself it was grief. The mind plays tricks when you're standing too close to death. That's what I believed for 15 years, right up until I picked up that last passenger. Now, I'm not so sure Lily ever died at all. I haven't slept in 3 days. The whispers won't let me. They come through the walls now, soft at first, like breath against cold glass, then louder, clearer. They know my name. They know what I did. But tonight, something's different. The doll is back. It was waiting on my pillow when I woke up, its stitched mouth curved into something that almost looked like a smile. The buttons for eyes are gone now, in their place. 2 small blue glass marbles. Lily's eyes. I wanted to throw it out, burn it again, but when I touched it, I swear to God, it felt warm. Like something was still inside, something buried deep in the cotton stuffing beneath the cracked seams. I don't think it's just a doll anymore. I think it's her. I made a mistake tonight. I answered the phone. It rang at exactly 2:33 a.m., that same cursed number. My fingers moved on their own, lifting the receiver before my brain even caught up. For a long moment, there was only silence. And then, "Hi, Daddy." Lily's voice. Soft, fragile, just like I remember. My heart broke all over again. I pressed the phone tighter against my ear, tears burning hot down my cheeks. "Lily, is that you?" Her voice cracked on the other end, a hollow, wet sound. "Why did you let me go?" I couldn't breathe. I wanted to tell her the truth, that I'd tried, that I'd done everything I could. But how do you explain something you don't even understand yourself? How do you apologize to your own daughter for not saving her from something you couldn't see? "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." She started crying then, soft little whimpers that dug into my chest like nails. "You left me in the dark, Daddy. It's so cold here." I broke. I begged. I promised I'd find her, that I'd bring her home. But then, the line went dead. I should have left the house right then, packed whatever I could carry, and driven straight into the desert until the sun came up. But something kept me here. Something worse than fear. Hope. The kind that gnaws at your insides, even when you know it's poison. I don't remember falling asleep, only the sound of footsteps dragging through the hallway. Slow and wet, like something half alive. When I woke up, the bedroom door was wide open. The doll was sitting on the floor, its mouth stitched into a perfect smile. In its lap, my wife's wedding ring. I haven't seen that ring in 15 years. Not since the night Lily died. I'd buried it with her. Tucked it into the folds of her little white dress before they closed the coffin. There's no way it could be here. No way. Unless someone opened the grave. I don't know if I'm alive anymore. Maybe I died on that bus. Maybe this is hell. I keep thinking about that old woman, the last passenger, how she never really looked at me, how she just kept whispering under her breath. They never leave, not on this road. I think I know what she meant now. The road doesn't end, not at mile 161, not anywhere. It just loops back around, pulling you deeper every time, until you forget where you were going in the first place. I can't remember the last time I saw the sun. Can't remember what day it is, but I know what time it is. It's always 2:33 a.m. here. There's someone in the hallway. I can hear her breathing, soft and shallow. She's waiting. I know if I open the door, I'll see her, my little girl. But I don't think she's alone anymore. I don't think she ever was. I can hear them now, the others, the passengers. They're out there, whispering from the dark corners of the house, pressing their hands against the windows, scratching their names into the walls. They want me to come back. They want to finish the ride. I don't know what happens if I open the door, but I know what happens if I don't. They'll come inside anyway. They always do. I haven't seen the sun in 9 days. I don't know if it still rises out here, or if the desert swallowed it whole. The whispers stopped last night, but silence is worse. In the quiet, you can hear them waiting, pressing their rotten fingers against the walls, leaving behind wet streaks that never dry. Lily's doll is gone now. It disappeared sometime between the second and third night, but I know where it went. It doesn't need the doll anymore. Now, it wears her face. I don't remember unlocking the door. I don't remember stepping out into the hallway, but here I am, walking barefoot through the shadows, following the sound of her little breath. The walls feel soft beneath my fingertips, pulsing, like something alive is wrapped behind the wallpaper, waiting to break through. Then I hear it. Daddy. Her voice is closer now, just around the corner. I want to run. I want to shut my eyes and pray to whatever God still listens out here. But I can't, because what if it's really her? What if she's been trapped all this time, buried alive under something older than death itself? What if I'm the one who left her there? I turn the corner, and she's standing at the end of the hall. Lily, my little girl. Her hair is tangled, her nightgown torn and soaked in something dark. Her blue marble eyes shimmer beneath the flickering light, wide and empty. But it's not the eyes that break me. It's the rope bruises around her neck. She smiles. You found me, Daddy. My heart cracks wide open, my knees buckle. Tears blind me as I reach out for her, the weight of 15 years crashing down on me all at once. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Her tiny fingers wrap around mine, ice cold, fragile. I don't want to go back to the dark, she whispers. I hold her tighter, pulling her into my chest. You don't have to, sweetheart. I'm here now. I'm here. Her breath brushes against my ear, warm, wet. Yes, you are. Something sharp sinks into my back, small fingers digging beneath my ribs. I scream, staggering backward, but she won't let go. Her smile stretches wider, splitting the corners of her mouth. The whispering starts again, 1,000 voices crawling out of the walls, filling the room, filling me. They never leave, not on this road. Lily's blue marble eyes flick up to meet mine. But you did. I don't know how I made it out of that house. I don't remember running. All I know is that I woke up miles away, lying face down in the sand beside an old gas station. The sun was rising behind the mountains, but the clock in my pocket still read 2:33 a.m. The bus keys were clutched in my fist. I don't know how long I cried. I'm writing this from a cheap motel off Route 66. I don't know if anyone will ever read it, but if you do, never ride the night bus. It doesn't take you where you're going, it takes you where you're already dead. They let me go, but not because I escaped, because I'm the driver now. The next Route 66 night shift starts tonight, and there's always one last passenger. The road never ends. Thanks for watching. For more terrifying creepypasta stories, check out the playlists or the video on screen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Stay safe and stay scared.